Today we're going to find the best altcoins to trade. I'm going to share tips and tricks that you can use yourself to not only find the best altcoins, but also use effective strategies to trade them. I'm also going to be making this really simple. I don't like 1000 IQ strategies that only 1% of my audience have any hope of using. I find the simple stuff not only works better, but the people who make the most money tend to use really simple strategies. So pop open something like CoinMarketCap to start with and start looking through. I mean, we've got Bitcoin. And if you want to see my thoughts on Bitcoin, I shared them yesterday. We're pretty much stuck between 31K and 30K over here, and it's about to break to either side. Until then, it's just going to continue going sideways. And this is really important because before you trade altcoins, you need to know exactly what Bitcoin is about to do. So watch my video yesterday to get an idea of that. Then the next really important thing to consider is that every asset has its own ebbs and flows. When you first start out trading, you only want to pick one asset class and really master it. Then the other thing is that liquidity issues are a real problem depending on your portfolio size. If you're trading with less than 50K, don't worry about this, you're going to be fine most of the time. If you're trading with position sizes over 100K, you're really going to start running into issues when it comes to liquidity. So it's very important to pay attention to generally what the overall 24-hour volume is for the asset you're trading. As a rule, I don't really go above the top 50 coins with my regular trading. In a bull market, it's very different. There's all sorts of opportunities where if you're not looking above the top 50, you're missing out on a ton of money. And even in these market conditions, there is a ton of money to be made there. But we'll talk about that in another video. So here, the first thing I do is just take a look at the overall market and arrange it by 24-hour price change. This is a really easy way to see any coins where in the last 24 hours, they've moved quite a lot. You can see comp over here is right at the top, but it's a top 77 coin. So it's not my first choice. The first coin that really pops out to me is Matic. This has moved 9.2% in the last 24 hours, 5% in the last 7 days. Let's take a look at Matic and see if there are any opportunities. Now already, this looks pretty good to me. Let's zoom out to the 1 week to get an idea of the high time frame. And before we go any further, I'm trying to show you how to find opportunities here. Now, if you want specific strategies broken down step by step, I'll actually leave a link in the description below showing you how I've caught coins like Solana, Matic, and made sometimes 100x on them. So taking a look at this chart, quickly we zoom out to the 1 week, bring the moving averages in. We can see we had a big uptrend here in line with the rest of the crypto market, downtrend and pretty much sideways with one slight uptrend at the start of the year here. From about June 2022, we had a good uptrend, came down, and then the start of this year, we had another big pump and prices actually crashed down since then and underperformed the market. So we'll zoom into the 1 day now, and you can see steady downtrend that's been persisting for a while. This is where we're going to start paying attention to the market structure. Here, I've marked out a series of lower highs. So we have our first high there, lower high here. No way I'm drawing that for all of them. But yeah, so we've got lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. And these are lower lows consistently. And we may have seen some form of reversal here, but that reversal is not going to be confirmed until we see a structural break over here around 0.83686. Like this level here is ideally what I'd like to see properly broken before we call this any sort of confirmed uptrend. There are some early signs of reversal here with the crossover on the daily of the 30 and the 7. And structurally, we can see a mini break over here where this level, it had one attempt break, came down, failed, and then we had one nice break here. And we're starting to see some momentum. There's also above average volume here backing this move, similar to what we had over here right before continuation. So now I'll zoom into the 4 hour and see what sort of opportunities we can spot. So I'll actually clean the chart up here because we've got a good idea. We're in a downtrend. The chance of overextension and strong follow through is not very high. We've got a local breakout here where the most recent highs have been broken, and we don't actually have our next strong resistance until this previous consolidation over here between 0.756, 0.7865. I do not see a good opportunity quite yet. There is some chance to use the trading Fibonacci strategy here, but with the upper timeframes being so bearish, I don't love it. So what I'll be waiting for on Matic before I really consider this is breaking this first structural level here. So once we get above 0.834, or we can even be more aggressive, bring it down to 0.82. Once we're above 0.82, that's the first signs of serious structural shift. That's when I'll be looking to potentially make plays. I'm going to set an alert at this level, and I won't be interested in the coin until we hit that. This is my style of breakout trading. This is how I approach the markets. I spend about 90% of my time waiting and then 10% of my time actually taking trades. If you want excitement, it's not the best. If you want to make money, it works very nicely. One more level I will share that upon zooming out becomes very clear is over here. There are a lot of data points supporting about 0.76 over here. It's synced up with the lower part of this slight consolidation here. The data isn't as strong as the upper bit, but it's worth paying attention to for sure. Similar to the current breakout we're seeing, if you take a look at 0.69, this is the breakout level. You've got data point here, and the data point here, and price had one fake breakout, well, two failed attempts to break out above it, and then this one here has succeeded. It's heading straight into resistance at 0.76. What you can do is try enter a position on a breakout above here, but the problem is we've got resistance very soon at the next breakout, 0.81. That gives us an 8.46% opportunity to make profit. However, this one here looks much nicer with about almost twice that, where the next key resistance is closer to just below 0.95, where we've got up to 14% profit opportunity if it plays out with a lot of momentum. The other thing that makes me hesitate taking a long position over here is returning to Bitcoin. Right now, our breakdown level is here around the 30K level, and price is much closer to this than it is up here around the 31K level. So probability wise, it looks more likely to break down than break up. And when Bitcoin breaks down, usually altcoins break down with it, and Matic will be no exception. Now there's one other altcoin on my radar. The next thing that really pops out for me is Solana. Also just outside of the charts, I've been hearing a lot of noise on social media about this coin, and just purely discretionarily, that's pretty great for an asset. When you see a lot of noise, a lot of people talking about it, it means there's virality potential. If it does pop off, those people are going to look right, and then everyone's going to get a lot more FOMO than if it just popped off before everyone had a chance to say, hey, I told you so. Minor, but actually very important. So let's zoom out. We'll start on the 1 day here rather than the 1 week. First key level that pops off is right over here around 26. You can see a few of my historic levels before. This 0.79 level was one of my key breakdown levels and resulted in a beautiful short opportunity here around May 22. Though I actually haven't looked at or taken many trades on Solana since, if any. One of the other resistances I put here around 4.6, and we've got another key level we can mark out here. These upper levels don't really matter right now because we're so far away from them. As far as our current trading goes, this 26 level is very important, and this 37 level here is important. I'm also taking note that, see this breakdown here? It was triggered after we lost this level, and we just melted through this level here as if it was nothing. That is significant and gives the $30 level here, which is also nice, round, and good for psychological significance. Some importance. Now, why is this $30 level so important? Now, we've got a lot of data alongside the fact that it's a round number, giving it importance. And what it does is it really reduces the breakout range from here around 26. It gives us a really early first trouble area right around 30 that we'll need to pay attention to should we enter a position. Like if this level wasn't as significant, that means we'd have a 40% profit opportunity rather than a 13%, which is still very good and something that we can make money off of. Now, what I'm seeing is a beautiful attempt at breaking resistance here around $21. So there's definitely a breakout opportunity here with no clear standout next trouble area for me. Maybe here around $24 is the best fit I can see on the data. So let's zoom into the 4 hour. Now we've got some higher time frame levels marked out, and we can see really solid uptrend for Solana. Price is making its way up very nicely. No severe pullbacks, and we're about to continue past this structural level here. Zooming in, I probably put the level a little higher, around 22.4, and then our next target is probably, I think the earliest place I could see us running into trouble is about $23, and that gives us 3.6% profit opportunity. And if we don't run into trouble there, we're looking at potentially 7.65%. I like this a lot more than Matic just because of how clean the structure is and how important this level here is, because it's the last high before we saw this big breakdown here, and very significant if we manage to claim that. So I'll be setting an alert here. And this is something I would be willing to risk despite Bitcoin not looking ideal. I'll be keeping a close eye on Bitcoin if I do enter a position, and I'll look for a potential long opportunity right above here. So I'll be setting an alert there. And for those of you who made it to the end of the video, a little treat. If you're behind the computer 24/7 all day and trading is your main focus, you may also want to take a look at Orion. Now you can set alerts on this. It's a very effective tool for finding altcoin volatility, for finding opportunities to trade, especially if you're trading with less than 50, at most $100,000. There's so much money to be made building a system designed to trade on the day altcoin volatility. I've taught my students to trade with this strategy. I don't teach signals, I don't give alerts, nothing like that, just real trading. So every day you can find opportunities, make money consistently. This is an example of one of my students' performances in June. 24 trades, 20 wins. That's an 83.33% win rate alongside a total profit of 27%. You won't turn $1,000 into $1 million in 30 days, but you will learn a real scalable, consistent income skill. And if you're interested, do check out Zero Complexity Trading. I'll leave a link to that in the description below.